Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the Patreon Sim Dynasty. We are 7-3 on the season. We have Buffalo this week. We need to finish out strong if we hope for the conference championship. Let's see how everybody did this last week. ECU ends up winning over UAB 31-24. Had a big second half compared to the first half by 3 more points, but ended up pulling out the win, that's for sure, because it was a tie ball game at the half, and then started out strong in the third quarter. And then never let up after that. Take a look at the team stats. 19 first downs, 409 yards of total offense, 24 rushes for 81 yards, 2 touchdowns, 29 for 45, 328 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 5 for 13 on third down. Not great, but I mean, look at theirs. 2 for 11. Golly, their ECU defense playing great. 4 for 5 in the red zone. No turnovers. I mean, it was a pretty even game overall. Looking at stats and stuff. It was very close, but ECU gets the win. And then we bounce back after back-to-back losses to blank Kent State in our rivalry game. Finally put up some points, 31-0. A lot of passing yards. I like to see that. My quarterback even ran for some. Morgan actually didn't get hurt this game, and that seems to be the deciding factor. Taking a look at the stats, 23 first downs, 409 yards of total offense, 40 rushes for 117 yards and a touchdown, 21 for 36 for 292 and 3 touchdowns. 9 for 16 on third down, over 50%. That's what I like to see. And 100% in the red zone. We played really well today, and it shows. Rice ends up knocking off UTSA 35-26 to continue the streak. I think he's got the best record out of all the users, 8-2, 5-1 in conference. He started out strong, man, up 14-0 right off the bat, and then 21-13 at the half. And then another 14 points in the third just kind of solidified his victory. Taking a look at his stats, 29 first downs, 455 yards of total offense, 45 rushes for 216 and 4 touchdowns. Finally had a good running day. Usually he's been throwing the ball really well. He still continued to do that. 19 for 30 for 239 and a touchdown. 8 for 13 on third down. Great percentage, over 60%. 100% in the red zone. And only 1 turnover. Rice, I don't know what he's doing over there, but he's doing the right thing. Army also continues his winning ways, 21-14 over Western Kentucky. He's tied, I guess, with Rice for the best record at 8-2. Taking a look at his stats, 22 first downs, 380 yards of total offense, 51 rushes for 215 and a touch, 12 for 20 for 165 and 2 touchdowns. Throwing the ball, 6 for 14 on third down, that's alright. I mean, you got the win, that's all that matters. 100% in the red zone. But 3 for 5, or 100% on fourth, 3 for 5 in the red zone. Not good. Missed opportunities could have made this game way worse for the Hilltoppers. Luckily, it did not. Boise State shuts down Wyoming at 35-3. I mean, he's lost some of his big name players to injuries this season, so definitely hurts him there. And it's obvious. I mean, he just got almost shut out by Boise State. Taking a look at the stats, only 11 first downs, 215 yards total offense, 35 rushes for 130, 7 for 21 for 85, like no touchdowns, not able to move the ball well, 3 for 13 on third down. That's less than 25%, 0 for 1 on fourth down, 0 for 1 in the red zone, and a turnover. Just horrible game by Wyoming. Charlotte gets back in that win column after the game last week, ends up winning 35-32 over UTEP, almost blew it in the fourth, but held on for the victory. How many times? Yeah, they scored with about a minute and 28 seconds left, unable to get the onside kick and kick a field goal. But that was a heck of a game. Taking a look at the stats, 24 first downs, 450 yards of total offense, 39 rushes for 226 and 3 touchdowns, 19 for 31 for 224 and 2 touchdowns, 6 for 11 on third down, over 50%. That's a positive. 100% on fourth down, and 4 for 5 in the red zone, but no turnovers. It seems like the interception probably was the deciding factor in this game. Charlotte took advantage of it and got the win. And then UConn officially on a winning streak. 3 games in a row. He's shooting his way up to the top of the conference. I think it's between him, ECU, and Cincinnati. So he has a good chance to make a bowl game and a good chance to make the conference championship as we come into the last couple of weeks of the regular season. So we will see. Ends up winning 38-21. I mean, he let UCF score during garbage time, so it was already over. It's 38-7 at that point. Taking a look at the stats, 15 first downs, 418 yards of total offense, 33 rushes for 152 yards, 18 for 38 for 266, and 5 touchdowns. That's like every 3 passes was a touchdown, dude. Golly. 9 for 17 on third down, over 50%. That's a positive, 100% in the red zone. 2 turnovers. I mean, 1 fumble, 1 pick. We'll take it because he got the win. But UConn coming on strong the last part of the season. And we are into everybody else's matchups. We have Buffalo this week, Wyoming and Air Force. Army has number 25 ranked Notre Dame, UConn and University of South Florida, Charlotte and Florida Atlantic. ECU's got a bye week, and then Rice and Marshall. So speaking about our game against Buffalo, we're playing at home. Hopefully we can come out and get a win. We have people visiting, a lot of people visiting this week. Should be able to secure some of those. They have a little bit better rush offense than us, but we beat them literally in every other category. So hopefully we could play well. I mean, they're fairly balanced. I think we still have it about 50%. They're not scoring a whole lot. This should be a fairly easy win for us. So hopefully we're going to come out and do that. All right, following the advance, UConn loses big, 52-14. I mean, it was over at the half. It was, 38-0? Holy crap, USF went off. Pick 6, Flowers throwing the ball like a madman. Dude, that was a crazy game for the Bulls. Take a look at the team stats. 14 first downs, 328 yards of total offense, 25 rushes for 93 yards. That was not a good day running the ball, but 13 for 34 for 235 and a touchdown. He completed 235 yards on 13 passes. Golly. 2 for 11 on third down. Wow. That's bad. And 2 for 3 in the red zone. I mean, that's all right. But 2 turnovers, 2 picks. It was just not his game. And the way he was rolling, you would have expected a better game, but just didn't happen today. Army holds off Notre Dame for a little bit, but can't quite pull it out. Ends up dropping 31-24, lost by 7. Army made it a close game with 2 minutes left. Just couldn't recover an onside kick to jump back in it, maybe force overtime. Taking a look at the stats, 18 first downs, 325 yards total offense, 46 rushes for 197 yards and a touchdown, 14 for 17 for 128, 2 touchdowns. That's pretty good. I mean, only 3 incomplete passes. Holy jeez, man, I would love to have that kind of stat. I mean, a little bit more passing yards, but still, that's pretty good accomplishment. 3 for 12 on third down, great. 1 for 2 on fourth down, would like 100% on fourth down. And then 3 for 4 in the red zone. Missed out on 1 time and 1 turnover. I mean, that 1 red zone turned into a touchdown. It's a top ball game. Defense held strong. Defense played good, just not quite good enough to get the win. Charlotte ends up losing to FAU big at 38-14. It was 21-0 at the half, and never really looked back after that. Charlotte tried to make it a game in the third and early fourth quarter, but too little, too late. Taking a look at the stats, 14 first downs, 270 yards of offense. Wow, they had more than double the total offense. 31 rushes for 110, no touchdowns. 10 for 21 for 160 and 2 touchdowns. 2 for 10 on third down. And only 2 for 3 in the red zone with 1 turnover. Playing the ball 8 times. Not able to convert on third down cost him huge, as well as not being able to produce on offense. We end up knocking off Buffalo to go 6-2 in conference, 56-28. I mean, we had a good first half. Was that 35-21? Heck yeah. Awesome first half. 14 points right off the bat. And then 21 points in the second. I mean, they only scored because of a kick 6. But other than that, we shut them down pretty good. Taking a look at the stats. 29 first downs. 668 yards of offense. Golly, we threw the ball well. 22 attempts for 67 yards. 45 for 61. For 601 yards and 8 touchdowns. Holy crap. 11 for 15 on third down. Another great stat. 100% in the red zone, going a solid 8 for 8. 816 total yards. Golly. Rice knocks off Marshall in overtime at 34-31. Looks like they were down going into the fourth and scored with 1:35 left to go to overtime. Then Marshall took a field goal. Rice took a touchdown to get the guaranteed win. Man, Rice defense played big, getting a fumble for a touchdown there. Taking a look at the stats, 21 first downs, 414 yards of total offense, 49 rushes for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns, 17 for 28 for 206 and 2 touchdowns, 10 for 15 on third down, and 4 for 5 in the red zone with 2 turnovers. Man, if I was almost a bad game. Maybe one more third down conversion not being able to do, or the defense not being able to take advantage of the fumble and scoring could have easily turned this game into a loss. Now, Wyoming goes down to Air Force. I mean, since they lost pretty much their whole offensive power set and the 2 running backs, it's not been good for them. They're on a streak of not scoring much and losing. Taking a look at the stats, 12 first downs, 281 yards of total offense, 25 rushes for 97 yards, 9 for 26 for 184. I mean, he completed a lot of yards on the passes he did complete, but that's not a good ratio. And then the 3 for 13 on third downs, garbage. And then the 1 for 3, which was a field goal, doesn't help at all. Just not able to produce without his running game going. And it's 2 running backs, and it shows. I have Akron this week, Wyoming and New Mexico. Army's got a bye week, UConn and Temple. Charlotte and Western Kentucky, ECU and Cincinnati, and then Rice, North Texas. So we have Akron going into the last game of the regular season, and then we'll show conference after that because it's pretty much a lock who's playing for what. But we got a better pass offense. They got a little bit better rush offense, but they throw the ball equally as well as we do. So we need to make that adjustment. They're just not able to put up the points and turn the ball over a lot more than us. So hopefully we can take advantage of that. Kirk's picking us, and we need to get this win. And it looks like Charlotte ends up losing to Western Kentucky 35-14. Western Kentucky started out strong, man. 28 unanswered in the first half before Charlotte finally got some points on the board. One of them being a fumble return for 6, but unable to do anything else other than that. Taking a look at his stats, only 9 first downs, 169 yards of total offense, 35 rushes for 110 and a touchdown, 5 for 12 for 59 yards, 0 for 9 on third down, and 0 for 1 in the red zone. Ouch, dude. That is not a good showing for like your last game of the regular season. And yeah, ended on a very, very low note. Rice continues his domination and gets to double-digit wins during the regular season, topping North Texas 34-17. Like, yeah, a solid game, 10-7, 7-10. Just did enough to get the win and continue his streak and continue rolling going into the conference championship. 26 first downs, 470 yards of total offense, 43 rushes for 219 and 3 touchdowns, 14 for 22 for 251 and 1 touchdown, 5 for 8 on third down, 100% in the red zone. Dude's just going off. Only 1 punt today. Whatever he's got going on over at Rice is definitely working. UConn is also still on his streak, man. Ends up knocking off Temple 20-12. It's going to be interesting to see how the conference standings play out because he's finished the season real strong. First quarter, not so much. I mean, what was that? Dang, he scored 20 unanswered before they scored 12 in a row, but too little too late. Taking a look at the stats, 17 first downs, 397 yards of total offense, 28 rushes for 118, 41 for 47 for 279 and 2 touchdowns, 8 for 19 on third down. Would like a little bit better, but still decent regardless. And 2 for 3 in the red zone with 1 turnover. And he, once again, he's been playing really well towards the end of the season, and it's showing. Wyoming also finishes the season on another win. Ended up getting the win in overtime, 30-24. Looks like at least, what was that? They had to have touchdowns, maybe, but at least double overtime. My goodness, dude. Just back and forth game. Kicked a couple field goals in the fourth to push it to overtime, and the Wyoming stepped up when they needed to. Taking a look at the stats, 24 first downs, 361 yards of total offense, 48 rushes for 164 and 3 touchdowns, 15 for 28 for 197 and 1 touchdown, 11 for 18 on third down and a fourth down conversion, and 100% in the red zone. Man, Wyoming, even without his running game working as well as it has most of the season, he still got the win. ECU ends up dropping to Cincinnati in a double overtime game. I wonder if they had it was at least more than that, because it looks like they had to go for 2 or something. I don't know. He's only got 12 compared to their 14, so that's what makes it look like that to me. Cincinnati came out strong. ECU had a solid second quarter, and it scored with about a minute and a half left to force the overtime. But look at that, field goal. Yep, had to go for 2. Unable to convert. So ECU had 20 first downs, 537 yards of offense, 28 rushes for 99 yards, 24 for 50 for 4, 38 and 4 touchdowns. Only 5 for 6 on third down hurts, but 100% in the red zone. And this one is a key to that loss. 3 for 7 in the red zone. Holy jeez, dude. 3 for 7, 2 turnovers. You score one more time, just one more time, and that's a different ball game right there. And we end up putting the boots to Akron 45-7. We scored, what was that, 31 before they scored, and then we had a couple of garbage time touchdowns, but it doesn't matter. Solid win. Ooh, a pick 6. Looking at our stats, 29 first downs, 615 yards of total offense, 18 rushes for 70 yards and 3 touchdowns. 41 for 56 for 545 yards and 2 touchdowns. Daggum, Morgan went off. 7 for 12 on third down, 1 for 1 on fourth, and then 5 for 6 in the red zone with 0 turnovers. Played flawless today, minus the 12 penalties, but still, no turnovers helped us to a huge win. So this week, everybody's got a bye week, with the exception of Army. They play Navy. No real surprise there. I'm not going to show the conference standings yet. I'm going to wait till conference championship week just to see where everybody finished per conference, so we know who's playing for the conference championship and who's not. And that's going to be after this advance anyway. So no big deal there. Not cutting anything out. I will show it, but it's going to be a little in the middle of this episode. Army ends up dropping to Navy. I'm pretty sure that's back-to-back years, man. He had a really good run. I think at one point he was 8-2. He's at least lost the last two, I'm fairly positive. Not had a good end to his season. Ends up getting beat down 42-26. I mean, he tied it back up for the half, and then a big third quarter by Navy, just unable to recover from that. Checking out the team stats, 19 first downs, 346 yards total offense, 45 rushes for 173 and 2 touchdowns, 9 for 13 for 173 and a touchdown, 6 for 11 on third down. I mean, he played really well. Only missed 1 2-point conversion, but allowing the defense allowing 7 third down conversions on the day. Didn't stop him one time. Killed him, man. The red zone, 5 out of 6, all 5 were touchdowns. That's just not good, dude. He played a solid game on paper, just unable to stop them when they needed to on third down and keep them from getting touchdowns in the red zone. So taking a look at the matchups, I have Eastern Michigan, Wyoming, Army, UConn, Charlotte, and East Carolina all have bye weeks. They didn't make the conference championship, just myself and Rice, who plays FIU. So let's take a look at the standings. I secured it. 2 conference wins, 2 conference losses. All I had, I think it was Ohio and somebody else. Luckily, we pulled it out. Eastern Michigan tops Northern Illinois. Look at that, 4-1 in division. Other than that, it was like a three-way tie, man. It was a heck of a West side. Mountain West, Air Force claims it again between them and Colorado State. They're both looking really good. Wyoming finished with an even 500. On the West side, UNLV and Nevada. Pac-12 North, we have Stanford and Washington. I'm not quite sure who's playing for that. I would assume Washington, but it looks like Stanford is. UCLA 10-2, but Arizona 5-0 in division. So I'm curious to see who played for that. We'll go check this week's matchups and see who's playing who. SEC East, Georgia, yeah, for sure, 7-1 in conference, 6-1 in the division. The other side, LSU actually doing pretty good, 11-1, and then Auburn 10-2. Number 1 and number 7, man. Sunbelt, Arkansas State going 10-1. Sheesh. ACC, Florida State, probably over the top of Clemson there, even though they're number 5 and number 9. The other side, Virginia Tech, 10-1, 8-1 in conference. Yeah, Virginia Tech on that side. East side, Cincinnati looks like tops it. ECU couldn't quite knock them off. That could have pushed them up there. Connecticut could have got pushed up there. There's a lot of potential for the 2 user teams to make it, just unable to this season. The other side, Tulsa and Houston. I'm not sure how they're going to do that one, man. Golly, both 10-2, both 8-1 in conference, both 4-1 in division. How you going to score that? Big 12, K-State over Texas? Really? Or number 12 ranked? Texas ranked number 12 with 3 losses, dude. That's ridiculous. Big 10, Ohio State, and then Michigan right behind them. And then Wisconsin on the other side. Conference USA, FIU and Mid-Tennessee State. I want to say FIU because they're 3-1 in division. Takes the cake. Charlotte put up a good fight, unable to secure it. The other side, Rice, of course, 10-2 on the season, 7-1 in conference, 4-0 in division. Independence, Army finishes up there with Notre Dame, man. Had one more game because of the Army-Navy game, but 8-4 compared to 8-3. It's a pretty good record. So it's looking like the matchups are FIU and Rice, myself and Eastern Michigan, Georgia and LSU, Cincinnati and Tulsa, UNLV and Air Force, Stanford and UCLA, Florida State and Virginia Tech, Wisconsin, Ohio State. Taking a look at the championship contenders, LSU, Washington, Georgia, UCLA, Clemson, Virginia Tech, Auburn, Stanford, Florida State, Houston is your top 10. Rice coming in almost ranked right now at 27, might finish the season ranked. We're at 32. We might jump up there. Army coming in at 49. Wyoming at 72, Connecticut at 76, Charlotte at 89, ECU at 92. And that's all for them. The Heisman watch right now, Foreman from Texas looking to take it. Watson from Clemson. Rice has a halfback up there, man. He has the potential to at least get some votes, at the very least. I mean, he's close enough. Halfback for Air Force and a halfback for LSU. We have our game versus ECU this week. Looking forward to it. They're a little bit better rush offense by about double, more than double, so they're pretty even. We're going to stick to our even game plan, hopefully come out and do what we did last year and dominate in the bowl game. That's going to be our objective. It's going to be our our goal. Back-to-back conference champs, I'll take it. If we don't win the bowl game, I'm not as worried. I'd rather have back-to-back conference champs, you know what I mean? But taking a look at the recruiting, I'm still in the battle with a couple of these guys. Can't do anything this week or the rest of the season until we get to the offseason. I'm going to showcase a little bit of what I got. Kicker, I'm an athlete that'll probably be a quarterback more than likely. The dude's pretty shifty. He can throw the ball very far and pretty accurate. Or it could be a receiver, and he's fast. So he's got a lot of ability, or he could play coverage, man. Look at the play recognition, pursuit, man coverage. He could be good all around. I'm not sure where I'm going to put him yet. Got a gym athlete, wide receiver, 78. Another gym wide receiver, 77. Gym guard. We've had a lot of gyms this year, man. We did a really good job recruiting, and I'm very happy. Look at all those gyms. What was that, 4 gyms so far? Holy crap, man. And we did what we needed to do to get the players we needed. I got the fullback because I needed a fullback, but we're just loading up on Pipeline State recruits now. I still have plenty of scholarships left, so if I can hit some of those guys, get them to commit, get an extra pipeline or two, man, that'll help out in the future. But anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. We're going to leave it here. We're going to do the conference championship week, bowl week, and then end of season stats in the next episode, just to kind of give it a little bit of more time without it overloading and running like 30 minutes, I think, like the last one did. So just kind of space it out a little bit. But that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see y'all next time.